I've seen some of the reactions that people have had to the movie Cabrini, but I didn't watch any full reviews because I wanted to go in as fresh as possible. Now, I'm not a fan of movies that overtly preach about anything because I feel like it insults the intelligence of the viewer. If a movie does a good job, then the message will reveal itself through the storytelling. This is why I obsessively hate most of those evangelical cheesy movies that have such a low view of their audience that they have to shoehorn their message into the film, leaving no room for the viewer to discover the meaning for themselves. And so many of these types of movies wind up just one step short of the inevitable Danny Tanner speech to the girls at the end of every episode of Full House. Cheesy music and all. I hate that stuff, whether I agree with the message or not. But I understand that many people, especially Christians, feel the need to hear what they already believe preached to them over and over. And now that's cool for a sermon or something explicitly designed to preach the gospel. For example, when we watched VeggieTales, we knew we were getting a message about Jesus and the gospel, so no one was blindsided by that. And the same could be said for shows like The Chosen, which is designed to show people Jesus. No, I'm not going to get into my thoughts about The Chosen right now. So no one is shocked by that. But what about movies like Cabrini? Is it designed to be a Catholic movie, whatever that means? I didn't know before I saw it, and here's the deal. I certainly don't know after seeing it. And the truth is, it doesn't really matter to me. The biggest criticism I've heard about this movie is that it's lacking in its portrayal of Mother Cabrini's Catholicism. And that honestly made me more excited to see it, because the last thing I wanted to endure was a goofy, preachy movie about the Catholic faith. I became Catholic to escape those cheeseball types of things. I don't have the energy to deal with any Catholic stuff like that. But what I experienced was not what I had hoped. Now, I didn't want to be preached to about the faith in a cheesy way, and I certainly wasn't. But that doesn't mean I wasn't preached to. I was preached to about how men are horrible, especially the Catholic ones, and how women like Mother Cabrini are far superior in every way imaginable. The dialogue and speeches in this movie preach a message of feminism that leaves no room for any exploration of the qualities of the male characters in the film. The priest, bishop, pope, and just about every other man is portrayed as weak, materialistic, selfish, controlling, and completely incapable, whereas the women are strong, powerful, caring, resourceful, and just about every other good thing you can imagine. Now, I have no problem believing Mother Cabrini is all of those things. She's very special to me. In fact, I venerate a first-class relic of Mother Cabrini every day in my prayer room. Here it is right here. And the reason why is because she is a saint. This means she was a faithful woman devoted to Jesus Christ at a level few ever achieve. And this part of her was sadly left out of the film. And I was disappointed, not because I'm another person needing to have my Catholic itch scratched at the movies, but rather because this makes the story of her life inaccurate. I don't need her to give a speech about Catholicism, but we see nothing of how the practice of her faith motivated and equipped her to do the amazing things she did. Apart from a couple of very general references, we see nothing in this movie of her personal devotion, which I know was such a huge part of her life. And I don't need like a 5-minute scene of her praying the rosary or things that are just jammed into the story to appease the Catholic police on the internet. Believe me, that stuff makes my skin crawl. But imagine what a Rocky movie would look like if we never saw him train. If we never got to hear a song by Survivor as he's doing one-arm pull-ups or chasing a chicken around, and especially climbing to the top of the stairs of the art museum in Philly. And that's kind of what I felt like watching this movie. They had so many opportunities to show this. It would have been amazing to see how a woman this powerful prayed. And we could have seen her pointing others to Christ. I think the filmmakers could have done that in a way that avoids the cheese, but also accurately represents the most central part of who Mother Cabrini is, a saint of the Catholic Church. And you don't get to be a saint just because you are a powerful person who does some good things. You become a saint because you are holy. And I know people say, well, her good works were evidence of her holiness. I agree. But I promise you, those good works were not done out of a sense of girl power, but because she loves Jesus. And you'd never know that from watching this movie. In fact, you may be tempted to draw the conclusion that her Catholicism was more like an annoyance rather than the source of her holiness. Now, I say these things not because I wanted everything to be so overtly Catholic, but because I want the full picture of this amazing woman of God. But instead, I got something else. I got a message that men are awful and the Catholic Church is a godless, good old boys network of fat cats and politically minded weak men. And while I know that the church has had men like these losers in positions of power, I don't think this film does the Catholic Church justice. And I don't think it does Mother Cabrini's faith justice either. So if you're still with me, you may be shocked to hear that as a movie, I liked it. The production was amazing. The cinematography, editing, and soundtrack were beautiful, and the acting was beyond good. Cristiana Delana was flawless. I've never seen her before, but I am a fan. The opening scene was amazing and drew you right into the plight of the Italian immigrants in the late 19th century. It was so good. So it's not a surprise to me how many people love the movie. And you might too. If you don't mind the girl power message being shoved down your throat and you don't care that her faith isn't properly displayed, then cool. But for me, this movie had such great potential and could have been a grand slam, but instead ended up being a swing and a miss. Thanks for watching, my friends. Take care and God bless.